Thank you very much for coming. We're very proud to be the first professional West Australian sports team to wear the 16 Days in WA orange socks. The theme this year is Stopping Family Violence, Play Your Part. We're calling all West Australians to play their part by speaking up and calling out disrespectful behaviour to challenge attitudes and help end the violence. This follows up on my push to maximise community impact and positive community change.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Let's grab that. Well, thank you so very much, Mark, and this is really, truly a historic day for the 16 Days in WA campaign that's been running for 8 years. But as Mark just said, the Wildcats are going to become the first professional sporting team to wear the orange this Friday night to demonstrate their support of what is an important campaign to end violence against women. I want to thank Mark and also Jessie here for their commitment and support in raising the awareness. It's an incredible moment in time, not only for the campaign, but also for the Perth Wildcats. I also want to extend my thanks to the Brisbane Bullets, who they will be playing against on Friday night, and of course the NBL, who've endorsed and are supportive of this move, which will see a national prominence to this important campaign. The Perth Wildcat home matches at RAC Arena are something to behold, and we know that they're so well attended, particularly by families and children, and that's why Perth Wildcats' commitment to this important campaign is so important. As someone who's passionate about sport, I know how important our sporting heroes are and how much we look up to them, and so the Perth Wildcats taking this strong step on Friday night is so important to send those strong messages to young people in particular to think about violence and to do everything they can to also play their part. I also want to acknowledge the basketball community more broadly, who of course have taken a stance on this for a significant number of years. In fact, they've been leaders in terms of the grassroots basketball WA movement, in terms of building the resilience and capacity of grassroots sports throughout Western Australia to make sure the important messages around family domestic violence and respectful behaviours is loud and strong through the young people that play sport. This year's 16 Days in WA campaign, again, the theme is Play Your Part. And whilst the West Australian Government continues to play our part, we also call on everyone in the community to play their part. Start those conversations, raise the awareness and call out disrespectful behaviour wherever you see it. It's so critical that our favourite sporting players step up and play that important role, and the Perth Wildcats on Friday night are certainly going to be doing that. I know the RAC Arena is filled with the Red Army on Friday night, and I encourage all fans of the Perth Wildcats to don some orange on Friday night whilst they're cheering the Perth Wildcats to bring home another important win against the Brisbane Bullets. Any questions you want to ask?
How important is it for people to see men and professional athletes supporting this campaign?
Look, I don't think we can overstate how important the influence of our sporting heroes have, particularly on our young people's lives. They are our absolute heroes and they're worshipped, and so it's so critically important that they are important role models for young people in our community, and it's so wonderful that the Perth Wildcats are taking this next step and making that commitment by wearing the orange while they're playing their game on Friday night, and that is going to be just so powerful in sending that message to people right around Western Australia and particularly their fans.
And Jessie, how, as a role model, how important is it for you to be involved in a campaign like this?
Yeah, look, I've got a beautiful wife, I've got an 8-year-old daughter, I've got a 6-year-old daughter, I have an auntie, a mum, it's on me to, you said, call out disrespectful behaviour, but to be a positive role model within the community. And at the very least, we can wear the socks and have someone watching on TV or someone's in the stands and they ask the question and starts the discussion, then I think that's the least we can do as a club and supporting it in the community.
How did the partnership come about? Who made the approach?
Come on.
Yeah, I can just reach out to that. So our media manager, Jordan, reached out about it proactively.
And how does this fit, Mark, within, you talk about community engagement, and this elevates that to a new level, and how important is that to you and the vision you've got for the Wildcats?
Yeah, very, very important. I mean, if you think of like last game, unfortunately I missed it, sick with COVID, but for the Pink game to, bring attention to breast cancer, I think is a key thing, and this is another part of that. And in subsequent seasons, I'm going to be here for a long time, but I expect to be to push more causes in the community and use the great platform the Wildcats brings.
Jesse, the Bullets this week, consistency's been a challenge over the last sort of month and a bit. What have you guys done over the break to try and find some?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Look, I think the break's a really interesting period. Obviously, we've got guys going away on international duty, which is great for them. It's great for their individual development, but it's also a time to rest up and the coaches do a great job of, you've got to stay on top of things and you've got to stay fresh, but at the same time, you've got to stay on point as well. So, there's a balance between being on the court and being off the court and refreshing. So the coach has done a great job, and hopefully the guys are feeling rested but ready to go. And that's the aim of the game. We've got Friday night, and that's all that matters, really.
Is there an element of frustration from the players when you produce a good performance and then follow it up with a poor performance? Is there frustration that you're not quite able to put it together game in, game out?
Oh, I think it's just annoying when you don't win anyway, regardless of how you played the game before. No, look, the fact of the matter is we played some good basketball against Brisbane. Like it wasn't all terrible. It was a reasonably close game halfway through the third quarter, and at the end of the day they got away from us. But high quality team. They're well coached. Great personnel. They had guys away on international duty as well, so they're exceptionally skilled. But they play really good basketball. But at the same time, we've got to kind of concentrate on what we're doing. And you mentioned frustration, but sure. But at the same time, we concentrate on ourselves and see what we can do to kind of counter their activities, and hopefully we can get the win.
How's your body? You've had some back problems and some groin problems in recent weeks. Did the break do you good?
Yeah, it has. That's what I said. The break can be good for different people for different reasons, and for me, it's kind of staying fresh. Obviously, I don't play mega minutes and don't expect to, but at the same time, just staying fresh and being ready to contribute where I can, however long that may be. So, had a couple of days off. We had the weekend off from basketball practice at the very least. So, yeah, feel good.
So you're clear to play then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, unless someone tells me otherwise. Unless it's yeah.
How have you addressed the Chris Goulding scores 46, Bateman scores 51, unusual scores in the history of the leagues, and they've happened a couple of weeks in a row against you guys. So, how do you address the defensive element of the game?
Yeah, look, it's obviously not great, right? Two guys kind of setting records against us. There's some exceptionally talented individuals in this league. We come play them every week, right? But it's also a team game, right? So, Chris Goulding's not scoring 46 on one person. Likewise, Bateman's not scoring 51 on one individual person. So, it's about a team game. It's about recognising when a guy is shooting well and playing well, and trying to nullify that. It's about keeping him honest on the other end and making him play defence. There's so many little moments in a game, and it's about trying to win as many of those little moments as possible. So, hopefully it won't happen again.
Did you do a deep dive into those two games specifically on why those guys were able to get away from you?
Oh, look, not specifically, but we certainly review every game and see what we can take away, and there were certainly some elements of our defensive structure that probably weren't up to scratch, and we do that every game. But certainly we had a few breakdowns which we'll be looking to correct.
You expect a stronger defensive focus in people's minds against him on Friday night?
Hopefully he doesn't score 51. No, look, as I said, it's a team game, right? And so you've obviously got to have personal pride in your one-on-one defence, but at the same time, you've got to help your teammates as well. So it's a fine balance, and hopefully we can do both those things. Have immense personal pride and take it as a one-on-one challenge, but at the same time, rely on our team structure to get the job done.
There was blue tape on the practice courts at both ends. What were you guys using that for?
That's above my pay grade. No. No, just some positioning and some defensive structures and some offensive structures, and just reminding guys where they need to be in certain situations.
Is that something you've identified, is that players have been a bit lax in getting to their positions, and you just need to sort of...
Oh, look, it happens throughout the year, and we've used it before and we use it again, and it's just kind of another line and another reminder, and you can use verbal reminders, you can use tape reminders. It's just another reminder. It's not too much in it.
And this being a special club announcement, and Jesse Wagstaff and Mark Arena together, how many retirement texts did you get?
Yeah, a few. I would appreciate if Jordan McArdle didn't send out a special announcement from Jesse Wagstaff again.
Mark, we just ask you a quickly.
So, yep.
As the owner, when you see Bateman and Goulding going nuts, like, have you asked a question about how that sort of situation has occurred?
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to understand it. It's not great. I mean, I was at the game in Melbourne with Chris Goulding, and I mean, you got to recognise brilliance when you see it, and he was that, and he's continued that. So yeah, definitely. I mean, questions need to ask. We wish we had more wins, but I mean, we're playing on Friday night. We play again on Sunday. We've done really, really well at home. Consistent wins, pretty much, other than once. I think this season. So yeah, looking forward to another win.
So during that break, do you treat it differently from an ownership perspective and meet with people and assess the season in a way that you wouldn't be able to in a week where there are games?
No, I think it's the same for me. More than just I was recovering from COVID would be the big difference.